Right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to AskSpot Office Hours live help session. So this is where you can ask your quick question regarding AskSpot and get live help. We also do live builds to show you how different AskSpot tools can work in real use cases. So let's get started. For today, what we will be building is called the Startup Idea Validator in Teleform. It will be a form that helps entrepreneurs quickly evaluate whether their startup idea has a real market potential. So it's just, the core problem that we're trying to solve here is that many founders, tend to waste time building ideas that lack demand. There's no clear monetization or competitive advantage. So how it works is that the user of the form will describe their problem, the target market, the monetization idea, and then the AI analyzes the inputs to generate a market viability score, the risks, opportunities, and a suggested MVP roadmap. So this is highly sellable to startup incubators, entrepreneurship coaches, SaaS communities, startup newsletters, and creator founders. So I'll show you right now how to build this from scratch. Let me just exit out of my screen. If you have any questions at all while we're building this, to lay all of your questions. Oh, let me just refresh. I'm sorry about that. Let me just reload. Okay, there you go. All right. Now let's click on create. And for this one, we will be creating in Teleform. And then let's just name this startup idea Teleform and create. Okay. And let's click inside and start building that. So first things first, I like to build the welcome cover letter first for this. So we will be adding a new page and then create cover. And then over here, let's just change this to this question. Is your startup idea actually worth building? Save that. And then let's add another rich text actually. And then let's make sure that is added. There you go. And then for the start button, let's just change this to get my instant startup analysis and save. Okay, cool. So that will be our cover letter. And then we will be adding our forms. So for our first form, let me just rename this to welcome. And then for this form, let's rename this to contact info. Make sure that's saved. And then for this first one, we will just be collecting their name and also their email. So that will be under input. And then let's just change this to let's just say first name. And then what's your first name? Let's remove the helper text. And then we'll also ask for their email so we can send this later to their email address by setting up a webhook. So email address, make sure that's saved. So that's the contact info. Now let's create another. This one is for their um the the question about their startup idea overview. Overview, save changes. Let's do this. We don't really need that right now. And then we'll just use an input block for that and make sure to change the unique ID, change the labeling of this, and then change the helper text. So this is how it will look like exactly. Let's make sure to enlarge that text area to text area so they can just enter their their answer right there. Next, let's add another form. And this one now is about their target market, and save that. And then we will be using another input block for that. Click inside and let's ask them the target market question. So, who is the target customer and how do they currently solve this problem? And then we'll add the helper text. And as you can see, it says describe your ideal customer and any existing alternatives or competitors. And here's the example. So, let's just make sure to enlarge that. Awesome. Now, we will be adding another form. So this one is about their business model. So I'm going to just put that right here. Just make sure that's added, the last part. And let's see. Okay. And rename this one to, just delete that, business model. Make sure that's saved. And then we will be using another input block. Let me just get this removed out of the view. Click inside, and then let's put the unique ID along with the label and then the helper text. Make sure that's saved. Oh, sorry, we need to make it a text area so that they can just enter their answer there. And then we'll be also renaming the ending page because the user will have visibility on this naming. So when they're going over the form, they can see all of this. So let's just make sure that's active. And there you go. So the page is active. Now over here on sources, so I used my Teleform builder custom GPT to create me the knowledge base exactly for this. So if you want to kind of like use if you want to kind of like use the what they call this the custom GPT that I created specifically for building teleforms, do let me know. I can send that over here on chat. So for the prompt that we will be using, so let me just show you guys the exact prompt for this. Just get that and put it right here. So first is, so we are asking the AI to use the following form inputs to evaluate the user's startup idea. And then it describes the startup idea, the target market, the monetization strategy. And then over here, it says you are an experienced startup advisor. Review the founder's startup idea using the inputs provided. So we're just basically describing what its role is and then what it will evaluate, and also the startup viability score. So this part is the exact report that it will provide after getting all of these inputs. So it will provide the viability score, the overall verdict, the top strengths, the biggest risk also, the market potential, the competitive position, the monetization potential, and also the recommended most valuable product. And then next three validation steps from step 1 to 3. So also we added important instructions for the AI to follow. So basically it will just guide the AI when it comes to generating the result itself. So now we will be testing this in Teleform. Let me just make sure that's saved. And over here on customization, do you want to show progress bar in the form? So right now, the way our form is set up is that we kind of like split up all of the questions into multiple pages so that it's easier for them to kind of like navigate and answer instead of overwhelming them, right? With one page with like multiple questions. So right now it's set up this way. So it is best to show the progress bar in the form. And then we would also want to allow the user to navigate between pages. And then over here, let me just change this to analysis. And then, do you want to allow user to chat with AI response? I think for this, it's just a one-time result. So I think we're good with this. We just make sure this is set to 4.0, which is like the fastest for me when it comes to generating like these results. So let's just make sure to preview that. And there you go. So this is how it looks like right now. This is how the form looks like right now. Let us try to let's just try to kind of like test this out. So get my instant startup analysis. Hopefully the prompt that we added will work. What's your first name? Like Kimberly, and then the email address, and then describe your startup idea. So, the idea is a SaaS platform that helps small online businesses automatically generate and test marketing ads using AI. The tool connects to their website, analyzes their products, and instantly creates high performing ad copy and create suggestions for platforms like Facebook and Google. So let's click next. And I think the next question is who is target customer and how do they currently solve this problem? You can actually enlarge this so we see everything. As you can see, the target customers are small e-commerce store owners and Shopify sellers who run their own marketing. Right now, most of them write ad copy manually, hire freelancers, or use expensive marketing strategies. Many struggle to consistently create effective ads that convert. Okay, cool. Next, let's make sure to like describe our monetization strategy. Right now, our monetization strategy is to charge a monthly subscription starting at $29 per month. The main difference is that the platform automatically analyzes source products and generates optimized ad copy and creative ideas without requiring marketing expertise. So it focuses specifically on e-commerce store rather than general marketing tools. So that will be the monetization strategy. Now let's see if the AI is able to like create us the analysis and also be able to follow the prompt. So now it's preparing everything. Preparing. Okay, so startup viability score. Okay, I think it works. So as you can see, it gave us number 7. So that's the viability score for this, and then the overall verdict. So it was able to focus on our inputs, and as you can see, there's the top strengths, the biggest risk, the market potential, the competitive position, the monetization um, potential, and also the recommended MVP. And then the next 3 validation steps is this. Okay, cool. So that's basically it. So we just built an AI powered tool that analyzes, a few startup ideas using questions. So this kind of thing is super useful because instead of just a static form collecting, inputs, you're giving users instant insight and value from their answers. So once you understand the structure, and then you add in a few smart questions plus a strong AI prompt, you can actually just spin everything up pretty quickly. So that's it for this build right here. Um, Let me know, guys, if you have any questions with this at all, or anything that you're building right now in AskSpot. Do let me know if you have any questions. And you just click share, duplicate, put that on the chat, duplicate the link for this in Teleform. And then James says on my chatbots, when I try to use the microphone feature, I get this message, microphone access denied or unavailable. James, it may be because you are not using an OpenAI API key, or you haven't allowed microphone access in your Chrome profile. So right now, as you can see, I'm on my Chrome. And then if I kind of like turn on the microphone access, it will create a pop-up down here on the left part of your screen. It will say allow microphone access for AskSpot.ai. So you do need to click allow on that, and then it will, AskSpot will use your microphone to have the voice feature activated. So yep, you do need to check on those 2 things, and then let me know if it's still not working after checking those 2 things, and then I will check on my end. It can be a bug or something. So yeah, just keep me posted on that. Yes, you're very welcome. Anything else maybe from the community? Oh, I just to give you a quick pick on what we are building next week. So next week we will be building kind of like a bit AI business model generator, and then we will connect it with an automation to kind of like power it up, make it more powerful, make it more exciting, add more features to it. So I'll show you guys how to do that next week. So basically we are using AskSpot, and then we are connecting it to make.com. So if you're someone who's a user of make.com, an automation or any other automation platform, I think you will like what we'll be building next week. I'm still exploring it right now, trying to see which angle, works best, especially for us as spot users, and how we can, make sure this is a valuable build. So that's it for today's live health session. Any last questions before we wrap up the call? Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Eva. Thank you so much for joining. Well, you guys have a great Tuesday, and you know where to find me if you need any question, if you need anything at all, if you have any questions about HASPA. Thank you so much. Have a great day.